In an in-depth look at Keene State's recruiting process, we talk with Athletic Director Dr. Christine Kelly about Division III week, and we catch you up on all the latest spring sports action. All that next on Inside Owl Athletics. I'm Justin Mahan. The baseball team got back to their winning ways on Saturday. Inside Owl Athletics' Tyler DeRosa explains.
Keene opened up the LEC season on Saturday with a doubleheader against Western Connecticut. The first game was a pitcher's duel, with Andrew Hood pitching 9 innings. The Owls gained the lead off this sacrifice by Tyler Gammey in the 10th to take the game 3-2. Connor Longley shined in Game 2, going 4 for 5, including this double in the 5th inning. Devin Springfield started off a 4-run 4th with this RBI single to center. The Owls would win the second game 10-4. The Owls head to Eastern Connecticut on Saturday for their next LEC matchup. For Inside Owl Athletics, I'm Tyler DeRosa.
The women's lacrosse team defeated New England College on the road to claim its 4th consecutive win. Inside Owl Athletics' Peter Dubois has more.
The Owls were in control Tuesday night as they flew by the Pilgrims for the win. It was all Keene State in the first half of Tuesday night's game. After trading goals with NEC, the Owls had an 8-point score streak to make it 9-1 early in the game. The Pilgrims retaliated with 2 quick goals, but the Owls outscored them 7-1 after that to end the half 16-4. After the break, the Owls outscored their opponent 6-1 to win the game. Gabby Smith led the way with a career-high 4 goals and 3 assists. The women will hope to advance their win streak when they head to Western Connecticut State University on Saturday. For Inside Owl Athletics, I'm Peter Dubois.
Monday night, Keene State held its first induction ceremony for the National College Athlete Honor Society. KSE welcomed 32 athletes across nearly every sport. In order for a student to be considered, they must attend a 4-year accredited NCAA college or university, earn a letter in a varsity sport, be at least a junior, have a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.4, and be of good moral character. Wednesday night was Athletes versus Greeks. Representatives from every sport and Greek organizations were in attendance. The Olympic-themed event housed activities like blindfolded bowling, tic-tac-toe, and more. The Olympics are part of Division III week and tie hand-in-hand with their Penny Wars fundraiser. Organizers say that it was great having this collaboration to raise money for a good cause.
We've been trying to bridge the gap between the camaraderie of the two groups, and I think we're doing that with this.
Last year, SAC fraternities and sororities raised over $200 and hope to exceed that this year. While spring sports are well underway, fall and winter coaches still have a lot of work to do for next season. We sat down with coaches this week to get an in-depth look at the recruiting process. For most athletes, their season has come to an end, and while they continue to hit the weights and stay in shape, coaches are in the extensive process of finding new players. They're reaching out for one last attempt to get prospective students to call Keene State their home. But as men's basketball coach Ryan Kane admits, it's not easy.
Competing against schools that have the ability to offer free education to students, as well as, other schools in this area that are, I'm sure, good schools as well.
And while the search in the office continues, those in admissions are working hard to ensure that those students academically qualify for Keene State. Admissions counselors often find that the students may be athletically proficient, but they aren't academically.
A lot of times when athletes apply, they really haven't been exposed to what we require as far as admission. And I think that's one of the biggest struggles.
To be considered for admission to Keene State, a student must have an average GPA of a 3.0, and starting next year, SAT scores will be optional. Counselors also look at the student's involvement and class levels. But even after admission to Keene State, keeping your spot on the team is a constant and ongoing struggle.
So it's really about, that, high-level academic experience, preparing people for success after they graduate. Basketball-wise, I think we've had a lot of success and can sell the type of program that we have here at Keene State.
Although success with the team is desired, coaches still strive for success in the classroom.
It's really not easy to be a college athlete here. You have to be willing to work because I think there's high expectations on both ends of the spectrum, the academic expectations as well as the athletic expectations.
Members of the women's lacrosse team are the stars in the LEC this week. Junior midfielder Chelsea Lewis was named Offensive Player of the Week after tallying 10 goals in the Owls' last 2 victories. And freshman Allie Daisy was selected as Rookie of the Week, tallying 10 points in their shutout week. And finally, senior midfielder Tori Weinstock was tabbed as Defensive Player of the Week after her efforts in their perfect week. Weinstock currently leads the LEC in draw controls and caused turnovers. And Weinstock's performance also garnished her with Athlete of the Week. She's joined by men's lacrosse senior John Nassif. Nassif made the list after scoring 10 goals across the last 2 games for Keene State. Keene State College has been celebrating NCAA Division III athletics. We welcome back Athletic Director Dr. Christine Kelly to discuss those celebrations. Dr. Kelly, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Justin. It's a pleasure to be back.
So what is Division III Week?
Well, Division III Week is an opportunity for us, for those of us associated with Division III, to be able to express our gratitude for those who are around Division III, as well as for us to build awareness about what Division III is and the impact of athletics on a college campus.
So what kind of things has athletics done to celebrate?
So we've had a big week this week. It started off with one of the things that I loved was our induction of our inaugural class into the Chi Alpha Sigma National College Athletic Honor Society. And we had 32 student athletes who were inducted into that, and that was on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we also had our Zoom admissions web conferencing call where our prospective student athletes were able to log in and ask questions about what it's like to be an athlete on Keene State's campus. And then yesterday, one of our fun events was our 2nd annual Greeks versus Athletes Olympics, where I'm proud to say the athletes won for the 2nd year in a row, but we did have that yesterday as well.
It's a good thing to hear the athletes holding that title the 2nd year. So Athletes versus Greeks, how did that become an event? So
it was the brainchild really of our Student Athlete Advisory Committee advisor, Kara Fisk-Hennessy, who's also our head softball coach. She was really wanting to do something to be able to bridge the gap between athletics as well as the greater campus community. So she came up with the idea of Greeks versus Athletes Olympics. So we did that last year. It worked out really well, and we figured we'll just keep it going. So that's what we did yesterday, and it's been a phenomenal event.
What was your favorite part of the event?
So I would say the tug of war was really good because I just think it shows, brute strength to be able to see between the athletes as well as the Greeks. And of course the athletes won. If they didn't, I would start to question our strength and conditioning program, but that was really good. I also love the sack race. I mean, we had some athletes that really got into that, and that went really well.
So looking at the bigger picture now, what makes Division III so special? I
think it allows our student athletes to have a well-rounded collegiate experience. It's not something that you just, when you look at the bigger schools like Division I and even some Division II, there are special admits, they get special treatment. Our athletes don't get any of that. I mean, they are treated the exact same as any other regular student, and it gives them the opportunity to discover themselves and develop and dedicate to who they want to be and become well-rounded adults.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you so much, Justin.
Our action this week starts with a jam-packed Saturday. The track and field teams head to American International College for the Yellow Jacket Invitational. Baseball is on the road for a doubleheader at Eastern Connecticut State with the first game at noon and the other at 3. Women's lacrosse hits the road for a 12 p.m. matchup against Western Connecticut, while the men's lacrosse team remain at home taking on UMass Dartmouth at 1. Wrapping up Saturday's games is the softball team. They'll head to the University of Southern Maine for games at 1 and 3 p.m. Sunday, the baseball team returns home for a 1 p.m. start against Tufts University. They return to the diamond on Tuesday, taking on the Falcons from Fitchburg State at 3:30. And softball heads to Westfield State for a doubleheader starting at 3:30. They will also head to Western New England on Wednesday for a doubleheader starting at 3:30. And the baseball team continues their home field defense Wednesday as they take on Springfield College at 3:30. And remember that because we are in the spring season, weather plays a huge role in the schedule. Tune in to KeenOwls.com for all updated schedules. Again, that's KeenOwls.com. That's all the time we have. Thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you right back here next week. For Inside Owl Athletics, I'm Justin Mahan.